Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Tuesday, July 24th, 2018. Today I'm going to recap last night's baseball games, look ahead to today's slate of games, go over the lack of hustle by Gary Sanchez of the New York Yankees that cost them the game last night, as well as some other things, but I really want to get into Sanchez, not the ineptitude of Aaron Boone letting Didi Gregorius bunt and whatnot, and go over my top 100 MLB players list at mid-season. And if I forgot anybody that deserves to be on the list, just let me know via Twitter at Madison Mills 28. All right, I'm going to start with going over the baseball games, then I'll do my Gary Sanchez rant. And speaking of one Gary Sanchez and the Yankees, they drop a game 7-6 to the hands of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays improved to 51-49. The Yankees dropped to 63-35. Matt Andrees improves to 3-4. Luis Severino drops to 14-3. He has not been good his last couple starts. And Jose Alvarado gets his fourth save of the season. Bottom of the first, Jake Bauer scores on a pass ball by Gary Sanchez all the way from second base. We'll get into more on that about Sanchez too. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Top of the second, RBI single Miguel Andujar ties up at 1 apiece. Bottom of the fifth, 3-run home run Jake Bauers, 4-1 Rays. Top of the sixth, Stanton scores on the pass ball by Jesus Sucre, makes it a 4-2 game. RBI single Gary Sanchez makes it a 4-3 game. Bottom of the sixth, home run Daniel Robertson makes it a 5-3 game. RBI single Jesus Sucre, 6-3 Rays. Fielder's choice, Matt Duffy makes a 7-3 Rays. Top of the seventh, here come the Yankees. RBI ground out, Didi Gregorius makes it 7-4. Two-run single, Giancarlo Stanton makes it 7-6. And that's your final. The Yankees fall short. Hunter Wood, 2 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 2.93 ERA. Promising from the opener. Luis Severino, his worst start of the year. 5 innings, 11 hits, 6 earned runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 2.63 ERA. Slowly drifting out of the race for the American League Cy Young. I'll get into Sanchez after I go over all the games. The Red Sox defeat the Orioles 5-3 as they improve to Major League best 71-31. Now 6 games ahead of the Yankees. Baltimore drops to 28-73. Rick Porcello improves to 12-4. Kevin Gausman drops to 4-8. Craig Kimbrell gets his 32nd save of the season. Top of the second, home run Mitch Moreland, 1-0 Red Sox. Top of the fifth, bases loaded walk Jackie Bradley Jr., 2-0 Sox. 2-run ground rule double Andrew Benintendi, 4-0 Sox. Infield single JD Martinez, 5-0 Sox. Bottom of the eighth, 2-run home run Jonathan Scope makes it a 5-2 game. Bottom of the ninth, RBI single Caleb Joseph makes it a 5-3 game. Red Sox had to bring in Kimbrell in the ninth, and they hang on. Rick Porcello, 6 innings, 6 hits, no one runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.93 ERA. Kevin Gausman, 4 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.54 ERA. The Dodgers defeated the Phillies 7-6 as they improved to 56-44. The Phillies dropped to 55-44. Scott Alexander improved to 2-0. Seranthony Dominguez drops to 1-3. Kenley Jansen gets his 29th save of the year. Top of the first, home run Max Muncy, 1-0 Dodgers. Home run Yasmani Grandal, 2-0 Dodgers. Top of the second, home run Chris Taylor, 3-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the second, home run Maikel Franco makes it a 3-1 game. Top of the fourth, home run Jock Peterson makes it 4-1 Dodgers. Bottom of the fifth, 3-run home run Rhys Hoskins ties it up at 4 apiece. Home run Abdul Herrera, 5-4 Phillies. Top of the seventh, sacrifice fly Max Muncy, 5-5. Top of the ninth, Alex Verdugo scores on a wild pitch by Seranthony Dominguez. 6-5 Dodgers. RBI single Matt Kemp, 7-5 Dodgers. Bottom of the ninth, home run Maikel Franco. His second homer of the game. Makes it a 7-6 game. The Dodgers hang on. Ross Stripling, his worst start in a while. 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 2.43 ERA. Zach Eflin, his worst start in the wild too. 2 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Leaves the game with a 3.41 ERA. The Twins defeated the Blue Jays 8-3 as they improve to 45-53. Toronto drops to 46-53. Adalberto Mejia improves to 1-0. Luis Santos drops to 0-1. Top of the first, RBI triple, Eduardo Escobar, 1-0 Twins. Top of the third, 2-run single, Logan Morrison, 3-0 Twins. Bottom of the third, home run, Lourdes Gurriel makes it a 3-1 game. Top of the fourth, RBI single, Joe Mauer, 4-1 Twins. RBI single, Eduardo Escobar, 5-1 Twins. Top of the fifth, home run, Logan Morrison, 6-1 Twins. 2-run home run, Max Kepler, 8-1 Twins. Bottom of the ninth, sacrifice fly, Yangervis Solarte makes it 8-2. RBI single, Kendrys Morales makes it 8-3 final. Adalberto Mejia, 5 in the third innings, 8 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 4.82 ERA. Luis Santos, 2 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 7.2 ERA. The Pirates defeated the Indians 7-0. They called the game off after 6 innings. 10 in a row for Pittsburgh, 52-49 in the year. Cleveland drops to 54-45. Trevor Williams improves to 8-7. Corey Kluber drops to 12-6. I mentioned that Severino's kind of drifting out of the Cy Young race, so is Corey Kluber. Top of the second, 3-run home run, Josh Harrison, 3-0 Pirates. RBI single, Starling Marte, 4-0 Pirates. Top of the fourth, RBI single, Starling Marte, 5-0 Pirates. 2-run triple, Gregory Polanco, 7-0 Pirates. That's your final. Trevor Williams, 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout, leaves the game with a 4.11 ERA. Corey Kluber, 4 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 2.88 ERA. Certainly doesn't help him that his defense wasn't great behind him. The Reds defeated the Cardinals 2-1 as they improved to 44-56. The Cardinals dropped to 50-50. Jared Hughes improves to 3-3. Bud Norris drops to 3-3. Top of the sixth, RBI single, Yadier Molina, 1-0 Cardinals. Bottom of the ninth, home run, Eugenio Suarez ties up at 1 apiece. The walk-off single by Dilson Herrera, 2-1 Reds is your final. Luis Castillo pitched okay. 5 in the third innings, 4 hits, an earned run, a walk, 5 strikeouts, leaves the game with 5.3 ERA. Daniel Ponce de Leon in his big league debut was outstanding. 7 innings, no hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Still leaves the game with an ERA of 0. The Padres defeated the Mets 3-2 as they improved to 42-61. The Mets dropped to 40-57. Joey Lucchesi improves to 5-5. Jacob deGrom drops to 5-5. Kirby Yates gets his 3rd save of the year. Bottom of the third, RBI single, Wilmer Flores, 1-0 Mets. Top of the fifth, RBI single, Freddie Galvis ties up at 1 apiece. RBI triple, Manuel Margot, 2-1 Padres. Top of the sixth, Eric Hosmer save at first base on the error by Ahmed Rosario as a run scores. 3-1 Padres. Bottom of the sixth, infield single, Jose Reyes, 3-2 Padres. Your final, Joey Lucchesi, 5 in a third inning, 6 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 3.34 ERA. Jacob deGrom, 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, leaves the game with the major league leading 1.71 ERA. The Braves defeated the Marlins 12-1 as they improved to 54-43. The Marlins dropped to 43-59. Sean Newcomb improves to 9-5. Jose Arena drops to 2-10. Top of the first, 2-run home run, Freddie Freeman, 2-0 Braves. Top of the second, home run, Dansby Swanson, 3-0 Braves. Bottom of the second, home run, Justin Bour makes it 3-1. Top of the third, 2-run single, Johan Camargo, 5-1 Braves. Top of the sixth, RBI single, Ronald Acuna Jr., 6-1 Braves. RBI double, Charlie Culberson, 7-1 Braves. Top of the seventh, 2-run double, Ender Inciarte, 9-1 Braves. Top of the eighth, RBI single, Charlie Culberson, 10-1 Braves. Top of the ninth, bases loaded walk, Ronald Acuna Jr., 11-1 Braves. RBI ground out, Charlie Culberson, 12-1 Braves is your final. Sean Newcomb, 6 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 3.41 ERA. Jose Arena, 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 4.63 ERA. The Diamondbacks defeated the Cubs 7-1 as they improved to 55-46. The Cubs dropped to 58-41. Patrick Corbin improves to 7-4. Lucas Farrell drops to 3-4. Top of the first, RBI single, AJ Pellick, 1-0 Diamondbacks. Sacrifice fly, Jake Lamb, 2-0 Diamondbacks. RBI single, Ketel Marte, 3-0 Diamondbacks. 2-run double, Jeff Mathis, 5-0 Diamondbacks. Top of the second, home run, Paul Goldschmidt, 6-0 Diamondbacks. Bottom of the sixth, fielder's choice, Anthony Rizzo makes it a 6-1 game. Top of the eighth, RBI single, Nick Ahmed, 7-0 Diamondbacks. Your final, Patrick Corbin, outstanding, 7 innings, 6 hits, an earned run, no walks, 9 strikeouts, leaves the game with 3.13 ERA. Lucas Farrell, not good. 3 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, leaves the game with 5.17 ERA. The Athletics defeated the Rangers 15-3 as they improved to 58-43. The Rangers dropped to 42-59. Brett Anderson improves to 2-2. Cole Hamels drops to 5-9. Top of the second, grand slam Jonathan Lucroy 4-0 A's. RBI double Chris Davis 5-0 A's. Bottom of the third, 2-run home run Elvis Andrus makes it a 5-2 game. Top of the fifth, 2-run home run Stephen Piscotty 7-2 A's. Top of the seventh, RBI double Stephen Piscotty 8-2 A's. 3-run home run Matt Chapman 11-2 A's. RBI double Marcus Semien 12-2 A's. RBI double Chad Pinder 13-2 A's. Bottom of the seventh, RBI double Ronald Guzman 13-3 A's. Top of the eighth, home run Chris Davis 14-3 A's. RBI single Matt Chapman 15-3 A's is your final. Brett Anderson was pretty solid. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 5.46 ERA. Cole Hamels not very good. 5 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Leaves the game with 4.72 ERA. I think there's a chance it's more likely he stays in Texas than the likelihood of being traded now. The Tigers defeated the Royals 5-4 as they improved to 43-59. The Royals dropped to 30-69. Alex Wilson improves to 1-3. Brandon Maurer drops to 0-4. Shane Green gets his 20th save of the season. Bottom of the first, 2-run single Lucas Duda, 2-0 Royals. Bottom of the fifth, RBI single Lucas Duda, 3-0 Royals. Top of the seventh, RBI single James McCann makes it a 3-1 game. Infield single Jose Iglesias makes it a 3-2 game. Bottom of the seventh, RBI double Mike Moustakas makes it a 4-2 Royals lead. Top of the ninth, 2-run double Jim Adducci ties it up at 4 apiece. RBI double James McCann makes it 5-4 Tigers final. Francisco Liriano, 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 4.73 ERA. Heath Fillmyer, 6 2/3 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 2.82 ERA. The Brewers defeated the Nationals 6-1 as they improved to 57-45. The Nats dropped to 49-50. Julius Chacin improves to 9-3. Gio Gonzalez drops to 6-7. Top of the second, home run Daniel Murphy, 1-0 Nats. Bottom of the second, sacrifice fly Eric Kratz, 1-1. Bottom of the fourth, RBI ground out Eric Kratz, 2-1 Brewers. RBI single Julius Chacin, 3-1 Brewers. Bottom of the sixth, 3-run triple Christian Yelich, 6-1 Brewers is their final. Julius Chacin, 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, no walks, 9 strikeouts. That's outstanding. Leaves the game with a 3.58 ERA. Gio Gonzalez, not good. 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.94 ERA. The White Sox defeated the Angels 5-3 as they improved to 35-64. The Angels dropped to 50-51. Lucas Giolito improves to 7-8. Jaime Barria drops to 5-7. Joaquin Soria gets his 15th save of the year. Top of the first, home run Jose Abreu, 1-0 White Sox. Bottom of the third, RBI double Cole Calhoun, 1-1. Sacrifice fly Mike Trout, 2-1 Angels. Bottom of the fourth, home run Shohei Ohtani, 3-1 Angels. Top of the fifth, RBI ground out Kevin Smith, 3-2. Top of the sixth, RBI single Jose Abreu ties it up at 3 apiece. Sacrifice fly Leury Garcia, 4-3 Sox. Hit by pitch with the bases loaded by Kevin Smith, 5-3 White Sox is your final. Lucas Giolito, not a bad game. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 6.09 ERA. He is improving. Jaime Barria, 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.8 ERA. Today's games at 12 o'clock, you have the Braves and the Marlins. Hoyo Teheran against Wei-Yin Chen. 7 o'clock, Cardinals Reds. Austin Gomber against Homer Bailey. Red Sox Orioles. Drew Pomeranz against Jeffrey Ramirez. Dodgers Phillies. Kenta Maeda against Aaron Nola. Twins Blue Jays. Jose Barrios against Ryan Baroki. Yankees Rays. Masahiro Tanaka against Yanni Chirinos. Chirinos hasn't gone to start for Tampa Bay in a while. I guess he was hurt. Pirates Indians. Pirates going for 11 in a row tonight. Joe Musgrove against Shane Bieber. Padres Mets. Eric Lauer against Zach Wheeler. 8 o'clock Athletics Rangers. Frankie Montas against Mike Minor. Diamondbacks, Cubs. Clay Buchholz against Kyle Hendricks. Nationals, Brewers. Jeremy Hellickson against Junior Guerrera. 8:15, Tigers, Royals. Jordan Zimmerman against Birch Smith. 8:40, Astros, Rockies. Garrett Cole against Tyler Anderson. 10 o'clock, White Sox, Angels. Carlos Rodon against Felix Pena. And Giants, Mariners. Big game for San Francisco. I mean to say big week ahead. Could determine buyers or sellers. Andrew Suarez against James Paxton. All right. A little bit of a rant time. Gary Sanchez made 2 plays in the Yankees game against Tampa Bay last night that pretty much cost him the game. One of them was a pass ball in the bottom of the first inning where Jake Bauers scored from second base. He was just flat out lazy trying to get to the ball. And then his third baseman, Miguel Andujar's pointing at him that the ball's over there. And then he hustles. And then Jake Bauers makes it all the way to home. Gary Sanchez tries to throw him out, and he was lazy on that throw, too. As the Rays jumped up 1-0, Luis Severino had his worst start of the year. And that certainly didn't help. But let's face it, it's Gary Sanchez's fault for the pass ball. And in the top of the 9th, Yankees offense rallied courtesy of Giancarlo Stanton going 4-4. Rookie manager Aaron Boone makes the colossal mistake of letting Didi Gregorius bunt to move the runners over, which leaves the base open for Giancarlo Stanton, who Boone knew was getting intentionally walked, especially after he goes 4 for 4. So that was a massive mistake, which leads to Aaron Hicks not getting the job done with the bases loaded. The runner trying to score gets thrown out of home plate. Then comes up Gary Sanchez, who grounds the ball to shortstop. Aaron Hicks smartly hustles to second base. He's ruled safe because nobody's covering second base. And then heads up play by Willie Adames, throwing out the non-hustling Gary Sanchez out at first base. That is unacceptable for not hustling out a ground ball that can cost you the game. But sure enough, he single-handedly cost them 2 runs. And if not for Gary Sanchez, 7-6 Yankees would have been a final, not 7-6 Tampa Bay. And Gary Sanchez better be benched these next couple games, or else manager Aaron Boone has a problem. And I bet he will be benched tonight. I believe Boone will bench him tonight. Won't be surprised if he's DHing on Thursday because Sonny Gray's starting on Thursday. And Austin Romine always catches Sonny Gray. But I expect Sanchez to be benched for at most 3 games. This is unacceptable on a team that's supposed to be competing for a World Series championship and should not, with the talent on this roster, be 6 games out of first place in their own division. Give the Red Sox credit, though. They're great, and they're taking advantage of bad teams, unlike the Yankees, and that's going to be the difference in the division at the end of the day. The Yankees need to make a trade, or else they're probably going to lose in the wild card game, if not the wild card game, to whoever the Astros play in the playoffs. Because they need to improve that rotation. Just buy low on somebody, or just go all in and trade for Jacob deGrom or Madison Bumgarner. I don't care at this point. And maybe just don't include Gleyber Torres in any trade. Maybe include Gary Sanchez in a deal. I wouldn't mind that. And now, especially after this debacle, the Mets would absolutely say yes to a trade, including Gary Sanchez. The Mets need a catcher, don't they? And Gary Sanchez and his follies can go to the other side of town, which would just put more misery on the disaster that is the New York Mets season. And yeah, I don't think Aaron Boone's done that great of a job as Yankee manager, unlike some folks in the media think. But Aaron Boone hasn't been as bad as Mickey Callaway with the Mets, I'll say that. But what Boone did last night was a joke. And how he handled Gary Sanchez last night was not great. And him bunting in that situation is what led to Gary Sanchez not hustling the first base, so he's at fault too. I just want to be done ranting about the Yankees and move on to my top 100 players of MLB at the midseason point, 100 through 1. And here's a heads up, Gary Sanchez is not on this list courtesy of last night and courtesy of the fact he's been hurt most of the season. If I'm forgetting anybody on this list, as I said, please tweet to me at MadisonMills28 and tell me who I forgot because I was in a rush making this list. So, at me on Twitter, Madison Mills 28 if I'm forgetting anybody important or if I included somebody twice. Number 100, Rafael Iglesias, the closer of the Cincinnati Reds, has been a big part of their success since the firing of manager Byron Price and under Jim Riggleman. I love Iglesias. I think he'll be traded at the deadline. But the Reds have provided a lot of hope for their fans. Iglesias has been a big part of that. 99, Ross Stripling, Dodgers. Been a great fill-in starter to the point where he's been strictly kept in the rotation. 98, Starling Marte, the Pittsburgh Pirates, coming back off the PED suspension and providing big dividends in this Pirates run this season. 97, Brandon Morrow, the closer of the Cubs, currently on the disabled list, but he's had a great season. 96, Jameson Taillon of the Pirates, a little inconsistent of late, but he's a big part of their future, and I like his upside. 95, Lance McCullers Jr. of the Houston Astros, been a great starter for them in the back end of their rotation. 94, Yasmani Grandal of the Dodgers, one of the most underrated backstops in the game. 93, Salvador Perez of the Royals, having a bad year, but he's still one of the better catchers in this league. 92, Jed Lowry of the Oakland Athletics, having a career year, big part of their success. 91, Mitch Haniger of the Mariners, all-star this season, a big reason for their success as well. 90, Andrew McCutcheon of the Giants, has picked it up a little bit of late, been a big reason why the Giants, to me, have been a big surprise this year. 89, Kyle Seager of the Mariners, another big reason why they're having success. 88, Eric Hosmer of the Padres, hasn't lived up to the contract, but quietly having a nice season. 87, Matt Kemp of the Dodgers, a very resurgent Matt Kemp, been a big part of their success. Definitely deserved that all-star start. 86, Gene Segura of the Seattle Mariners, having a career year among the leaders in baseball. Batting average, was very deserving of the all-star spot. 85, Odubel Herrera, Philadelphia Phillies, having a career year. He's been great the last couple seasons, even when the Phillies were atrocious. Been a big part of their success this season, especially. 84, Dallas Keuchel, Houston Astros, hasn't had the best year, but has quietly been better over his last couple starts. I think he's poised for a big second half ahead. 83, Charlie Morton of the Houston Astros, got off to a great start. Has regressed a little bit lately, but also a big part of their success. 82, Jose Barrios of the Minnesota Twins, the ace of that staff. Although he struggled at points this season, he's still worth a top 100 spot, in my opinion. Number 81, Carlos Martinez, been hurt a lot this year. Has shown some dominance when he's been healthy. I think he's been hurt by poor defense on his team. 80, Sean Manaea, Oakland Athletics, a big part of their success this season, although he's regressed a little bit of late. 79, Noah Syndergaard of the New York Mets. When he's been healthy, he's actually been pretty good this season too. A lot of these guys that have been hurt this season, I'm giving benefits of the doubt, like Syndergaard and Salvi Perez, even McCutcheon to some degree, Taillon, even the Astro guys that haven't really been that great, such as Keuchel. 78 is Edwin Encarnacion of the Indians, having another great season in that lineup. I think he's underappreciated now that he is no longer the best player on his team, and I think he's being overshadowed by two of his teammates that I'll get to later on this podcast. Maybe even three of his teammates, or I should say teammates in terms of bats, not just in terms of pitchers. 77, Patrick Corbin of the Diamondbacks, having a nice season in a contract year. I don't think he'll be a Diamondback next year. I think the Yankees are poised to sign him in free agency this winter to be their number 2 starter, unless they make a trade for a number 2 or number 1 starter type at the deadline. Number 76, Garrett Cole of the Houston Astros, has been great this season, although he's regressed a little bit lately too. He's had a couple clunkers against teams like the Athletics, and I believe the Angels hit him good recently too. But I like Cole, and he's worthy of a top 100 spot. 75, Brad Hand, now of the Cleveland Indians, was great on the Padres. Had a couple rough outings, but he's a lefty and going to be dominant for the Indians as they make a run at a World Series title. Number 74, Josh Hader of the Milwaukee Brewers, has been one of the more dominant relievers in baseball this season. His reputation took a big hit recently when racist tweets of his from a long time ago were found and were being retweeted during the All-Star game. But that said, he's been an absolute beast for Milwaukee this season. 73, Nicholas Castellanos of the Detroit Tigers, having a career year. I always knew he had upside, but this is the best he's been of his career. 72, Jose Abreu of the White Sox. He's only hitting like 250-something on the season. He was pretty much a default choice at first base in the All-Star game by the fan voting. But he's still the best offensive player on the White Sox. And I'm curious to see if somebody trades for him. I doubt it because of his contract and because he's not having that great of a season. 71, Didi Gregorius of the New York Yankees was having a career year in April, and then he had a big slide since then. But he's picked it up a little bit. He's hitting like 3-something in the months of June and July. He was hitting 340-something in April, and then what squashed in that was that he was hitting like only 147 in May, and that's really hurt his numbers on the season. Number 70, Brandon Belt of the Giants. He's having a nice season so far for a team that's overachieving. 69, Jesus Aguilar of the Milwaukee Brewers is having a career year so far. Big part of their success. 68, Max Muncy of the Dodgers, another person having a career year, been a big part of their success as well. Especially now that Justin Turner's hurt again. And I think he'll be a beneficiary to the addition of Manny Machado in a good way. 67, Scooter Gennett of the Cincinnati Reds, having a career year, deserving of an all-star spot. Been a big part of the Reds' success under Jim Riggleman. 66, Trevor Story of the Colorado Rockies. He's having a great season, deserving of the all-star nod. 65, Marcell Ozuna of the St. Louis Cardinals. He's not having a good year at all, but he's getting a benefit of the doubt. He had a great year last year. Won't be surprised if he goes off in the last couple weeks of the season, but I still think the talent is there. 64, John Lester of the Chicago Cubs, having a great year, despite having a bad start against the Cardinals last week in the game where Matt Carpenter absolutely went crazy. I'm a big fan of Lester. He is the ace of that rotation right now. Jose Quintana's been a little better of late after a bad start, and Yu Darvish has been an abomination since joining the Cubs. 63, Matt Olson of the Oakland Athletics has been pretty good since being called up to the bigs, and certainly a big part of their future and a big part of their success this season. 62, Kyle Schwarber of the Chicago Cubs, having a great season that nobody's talking about. He's improved defensively in the outfield, and he seems to have his power stroke back. 61, Brandon Crawford of the San Francisco Giants, very deserving of an all-star nod, hitting the lights out of the ball this year, been a big part of their success. 60, Eugenio Suarez of the Cincinnati Reds, having a career year as well, deserving of his all-star spot too. And that contract extension the Reds gave him is starting to look pretty good. 59, Matt Chapman of the Oakland Athletics. He's somebody that's been a monster defensively, and his bat's catching up to his defense too. 58, Anthony Rendon of the Nationals. He's having a nice year too, although he's been hurt a lot in his career, but he's somebody I really like. 57, Wilson Contreras of the Chicago Cubs, having a pretty good year, was an all-star, and somebody that I think is due for a big power surge coming up. 56, Ronald Acuna Jr., a bit of a generous ranking for a rookie, but this man is going to be special. He hit a big home run for the Braves against the Yankees in the lone game they won at Yankee Stadium this year, and he's somebody that I think, when he's healthy, is going to be an absolute stud with Freddie Freeman in that lineup, and as well as his teammate Ozzie Albies, we'll get to in a couple seconds. 55, Juan Soto of the Washington Nationals, another rookie sensation, who I think is the favorite for National League Rookie of the Year right now. 54, George Springer of the Houston Astros. Not having his best season. I don't think he was deserving of an All-Star. He just made the All-Star team because he's a named player in this league that is on one of the best teams in baseball. But he's still a great player, don't get me wrong. As well as number 53, who is having the worst year of his career from a batting average standpoint, that's Bryce Harper. He's hitting only like .214, although he has a ton of home runs, a good on-base percentage, and is driving in runs. But he's not having a great year at all, and he's costing himself money on the open market. 52, Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs. Somebody else that's not having a good year, and I think he's due for a big second half. 51, Brian Dozier, Minnesota Twins. He's picked it up a little bit lately. He's known as a second-half player, and I think he'll get traded to a contender and will pick it up. 50, Ozzie Albies of the Atlanta Braves, someone who got off to an outstanding start and has regressed a little bit since. 49, Madison Bumgarner, San Francisco Giants. A bit of a generous ranking for somebody who hasn't really been that great since coming back from his injury. If San Francisco continues to falter these next couple weeks, it would be interesting to see what they do at the deadline, especially with Bumgarner. Maybe the Yankees or somebody overpays for him. 48, Zach Greinke of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's been outstanding of late, deserving of his All-Star spot. 47, Giancarlo Stanton of the New York Yankees. Someone who's absolutely has picked it up since a dreadful start to the season. Been a big part of their success this season. 46, Cody Bellinger of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He hasn't been that great this season. I think he's due for a big second half. 45, Trey Turner of the Washington Nationals. Somebody that was a deserving All-Star and somebody who I think is going to be a great player in the league someday once he has his potential. 44, Shohei Ohtani, Los Angeles Angels. A bit of a generous ranking for somebody who's been hurt a lot this season. But when he's healthy, he's shown that he can be special with both the bat and the arm. 43, Michael Brantley, Cleveland Indians, having a career year, having his best season since his best year in 2014. Somebody that's going to get paid a lot in free agency. 42, Christian Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers. Hasn't really had the best season of his career, but somebody that I think has been a big part of the Brewers' success. 41, A.J. Pollock of the Arizona Diamondbacks in a contract year. Was great before his injury. 40, Nelson Cruz, Seattle Mariners. Arguably the best DH in the league right now. A ton of homers, been a big part of Mariners' success this season. 39, Jake Arrieta, Philadelphia Phillies. He's had a couple bad starts, but he's been a big part of their success, and when he's on his game, he's pitched like the guy that won the Cy Young Award in 2015. 38, Trevor Bauer, Cleveland Indians. Bit of a generous ranking for a guy that's having a career year. Was very deserving of his All-Star nod. 37, Charlie Blackmon, Colorado Rockies. Hasn't had his best season, but somebody who is an absolute stud when he's on the top of his game. 36, Craig Kimbrell, Boston Red Sox. Has been the most valuable person in the Red Sox bullpen. Has come out and had multi-inning saves, or I should say over one-inning saves, because the Red Sox bullpen just isn't good outside of Craig Kimbrell. 35, Aroldis Chapman, New York Yankees. He did not have a good outing in his last outing against the Mets, but he's certainly been outstanding this season and was deserving of an All-Star spot. 34, Kenley Jansen, Los Angeles Dodgers. He's absolutely turned his season around after a rough start. 33, Clayton Kershaw, Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm sorry, he's not had the best year of his career. He's certainly somebody in decline, but to me, he gets the benefit of the doubt. He's still Clayton Kershaw to me, and he's been a little bit better in his last couple starts, although he wasn't that great against Milwaukee. 32, Buster Posey, San Francisco Giants. He's been an absolute rock in his career, big part of the Giants' success this season. 31, Lorenzo Cain, Milwaukee Brewers. Been an absolute stud since joining the Brewers. Hitting for power and average, and his great defense in the outfield. 30, Andrew Benintendi, Boston Red Sox. After a slow start, has been absolutely outstanding. 29, Chris Davis, Oakland Athletics. He's a dark horse AL MVP candidate for me right now. Been a big part of Oakland's success this season. 28, Matt Carpenter, St. Louis Cardinals, has been an absolute fire lately, and if the Cardinals switch to a seller, he will demand a lot in a trade. 27, Gleyber Torres, New York Yankees. A bit of a generous ranking for a rookie, but he has shown to me that he can be absolutely special in this league. The New York Yankees are not a good team without Gleyber Torres, or I should say not a great team without Gleyber Torres. They have absolutely missed him, and when he's in the lineup, this Yankees team is unstoppable. They were 45-18, I believe, when he was in the lineup this season. 26, Xander Bogaerts, Boston Red Sox, been a big part of their success this season, having the best year of his career. 25, Javier Baez, Chicago Cubs. He's having the best season of his career as well, been a big part of the Cubs' success this season. 24, Corey Kluber, Cleveland Indians. Did not have a good start in his last couple, but he's still Corey Kluber. He gets the benefit of the doubt for me. 2-time Cy Young winner. Should be a 3-time Cy Young winner because he was stubbed in 2016. 23, Blake Snell, Tampa Bay Rays, having a career year on the DL right now, but should be back soon. 22, Aaron Nola, Philadelphia Phillies, having his best season as a pro, and I think he's on his way to big things. I think he's a dark horse candidate to win the NL Cy Young this season. 21, Luis Severino, New York Yankees, has not been good in his last 3 starts. Same with Kluber, but he's Luis Severino, and I think he should be able to turn himself around like Kluber. So to me, Severino and Kluber at 21 and 24 respectively get a little bit of benefit of the doubt. 20, Rhys Hoskins, Philadelphia Phillies. I'm a big fan of Rhys Hoskins. He's somebody that's going to be a great player in this league for a long time. He's been great since coming back from injury, and he's been a big part of Philly's success this season. 19, JT Realmuto, Miami Marlins. Somebody's going to demand a king's ransom. Or I should say the Marlins are going to demand a king's ransom for Realmuto. And hopefully somebody offers him a king's ransom so he could be a big part of a contender. 18, Justin Verlander, Houston Astros. Seems a bit generous for a player who has been a big part of a team's success since he's joined the team. But I think he's earned the number 18 spot on this rankings list. He's been an absolute stud. He'll probably win the American League Cy Young this season. 17, Carlos Correa, Houston Astros. A bit of a generous ranking for a player that's hurt right now and didn't make the All-Star team. But he's an absolute special talent in this league. 16, Chris Bryant, Chicago Cubs. Another generous ranking for a player that's been hurt a lot this season. But the Cubs are a force to be reckoned with when he's in the lineup. 15, Chris Sale, Boston Red Sox, has been an absolute stud. Arguably their MVP this season, although J.D. Martinez, Mookie Betts are obviously their offensive MVPs, but Chris Sale is certainly the MVP of their rotation. The Red Sox play well as a team whenever he pitches. They just have to avoid his late season swoon this season or else they're in trouble. 14, Jacob deGrom, New York Mets, best pitcher in baseball this season. It sucks that he's stuck on this awful joke of a Mets team. I would love to see him pitch on a contender, most likely the Yankees, for me. He'd just be a great fit alongside Luis Severino in their rotation. And the Yankees have the assets to give the Mets a package done in a deal. 13, Max Scherzer, Washington Nationals. He's been an absolute stud. Yes, his contract's humongous, but he's been worth every penny of that contract since he's joined the Nats. And if the Nats are to turn their season around, Scherzer has to pitch well. Although he has pitched pretty well, but he's been in bad luck situations with the lack of run support he's been provided. And that's the same with deGrom. 12, Joey Votto, Cincinnati Reds. He's still the heart and soul of that lineup. He's still a great player. He had a couple subpar seasons and wasn't owning up to that contract, but of late, he's been absolutely great. And I mean of late over the last year plus. He's lived up to that contract and been a big part of the Reds' success under Jim Riggleman. and he's going to be a Red for life. 11, Jose Altuve, Houston Astros, the reigning AL MVP, has been an absolute stud in that Astros lineup. He's still a hitting machine. His power's down from last year, but he's still the same hitting machine that he's always been. 10, Freddie Freeman, Atlanta Braves, the NL MVP arguably right now, although there's two other candidates I'll get to on this list. But Freeman's been a big part of the Braves' success this season. 9, JD Martinez, Boston Red Sox, big part of their success this season. The AL MVP right now in my mind, although you can make a case for some other guys. 8, Jose Ramirez, Cleveland Indians, been an absolute stud this season, having a better year than he did last year, already at 30 home runs. 7, Francisco Lindor, Cleveland Indians, having his best season as a pro too. 6, Nolan Arenado, Colorado Rockies. You can make a case for him for National League MVP as well right now. The Rockies are on a tear right now. 5, Paul Goldschmidt, Arizona Diamondbacks, turned his season around. He was dreadful the first couple of weeks of the season, but he's been an absolute stud and looks like his old self again. 4, Aaron Judge, New York Yankees, having yet another phenomenal season that I think is being overshadowed. 3, Manny Machado, Los Angeles Dodgers, having his best season of his career, and I think he'll be a big part of the Dodgers' success going forward this season. 2, Mookie Betts, Boston Red Sox. You can make a case for him for the American League MVP too, but the case against him that he was hurt for a couple weeks, I think that matters. And the Red Sox really didn't miss him when he was hurt. And he's been an absolute stud running the bases, hitting for average and power. And number 1, no doubt about it, Mike Trout, Los Angeles Angels. Yes, the Angels are not a good team right now, but that's not Mike Trout's fault. Mike Trout's still by far the best player in baseball. He stands out in front of the rest, and I think what Rob Manfred said about him was an absolute joke. And he is the best player in baseball, although he probably won't win American League MVP because the ineptitude of his team, but he's still the best player in baseball in my eyes and in a bunch of other baseball fans and experts' eyes as well. That's it for today's podcast. I'll be back tomorrow recapping all the baseball action. And I'll also be doing something I'm looking forward to a lot on this podcast, and that's the college football over-unders for the season, and something that I think will be worth listening to among the fans of college football with my over-under picks before the season, since tomorrow will be the 1-month mark until the unofficial start of the college football season, which begins Saturday, August 25th, with a couple games on the slate. And I'll be back tomorrow with the over-unders, among other things on the podcast, and whatever other news breaks around the world of sports. Maybe there will be a trade or something. Maybe more talk about Gary Sanchez and whether the Yankees bench him or not. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody.